So imagine someone walks up to you, friendly, confident, promising you exactly what you've been desperately searching for, whether it's money, a deal, or a golden opportunity that may or may not seem too good to be true. What exactly do you do? If you let your guard down for 1 second, you could be walking right into the hands of the most sophisticated scam that you've never seen coming. Whether financial or a real estate scam, it's designed to drain your money, your time, and literally your peace of mind. So here's the kicker. These scams are engineered so well that most people never even get justice. They get trapped in a system, and only a fraction of these people, tiny fraction, ever make it to court or get exposed as criminals behind it. So why is this? Well, we're going to talk about that in today's video, and I'm going to reveal the psychology behind these scams, why they work, how they manipulate you, and why even the smartest people, including myself, fall prey and victim to these things. So stick around, because the secrets and the information that I'm going to share on this video are mind-blowing and could potentially keep you from losing everything. So exactly how do these scams start? Well, innocently, that is. Someone either approaches you, or even worse, they get introduced to you, maybe online or maybe in person. They're friendly, they're understanding, and they immediately emphasize with your needs or something that you want. This isn't a cold call or a random pitch or a cold ad online. None of that works. They seem to genuinely want to help you. They offer something that you want: a loan, a partnership, an investment, or access to deals or something else that others can't normally get. And better yet, they present themselves as something they are simply not. Whether in part or in full, they are great at the gab, but when it comes time to come through, not so much. Here is the psychological trick that gets you tripped up. When you're in desperation or need of something, it lowers your defenses. The brain completely lowers it. And that friendly face triggers trust and familiarity, two powerful emotion levers. You want to believe this person and you want a solution. They are your only hope in some instances. And this is where they start making big promises. The promising comes in, and the promises of fast returns, low risk, or exclusive opportunities, well, those come about naturally, so to say. They promise that if you just give them a little money up front, everything else will fall into place. And that could be in the form of engagement fees, down payments, or disguised as something else altogether. And it may appear all part of the process, but the promise or deliverable is always just out of reach. It's a mirage on the horizon, as time will tell. Once you hand over the money, the game completely changes. Instead of immediate results, you get delays. Maybe it's a health issue, or a family emergency, or paperwork problems. Maybe the market shifted unexpectedly, or a legal hiccup came up. Psychologically, this is where the scammer keeps you completely hooked, with intermittent reinforcement, little bits of hope as we're almost there, or just a little bit longer. The technique works on the same principles as a gambling addiction, hooking you in endlessly. You start rationalizing the delays because you want to believe in the promises. You tell yourself, it's just a bump. They're trustworthy, or I don't want to be stern because I may lose the opportunity altogether. Well, newsflash, little did you know, the opportunity was never there in the first place. Why? It's a scam. But while you're waiting, what are they doing? They're compartmentalizing. Different team members handle different parts of your case. Maybe they pull it from one, shift it to another. So you never get the full picture. Each person is meticulously controlled for what they know and what they don't, and the details that they know all about the situation, because this ensures the full control by the scammer and individualization, compartmentalization by everybody else involved, i.e. this is called manufactured fraud. And you are included in it. Why? Because you're just fed enough information to stay interested, but never enough to fully expose what's actually fully going on in the whole picture. So here's the harsh truth. Scammers, they're playing a game, and it's called a numbers and levels game. The numbers are people like you and me. And the levels, well, they kind of look like this. Level 1, open combos back and forth with the scammer, internal frustration on your behalf, endless promises by them, right? Always the next, the delay. Level 2, is open frustration. You're open with your frustration. Maybe it's raised tempers, disagreements, arguments, but indirectly, you're still holding onto hope that whatever this opportunity is, you're gonna get it. Then you move to level 3. Level 3 is threats of legal, demand letters, and your hopes are really diminishing at this point because you haven't seen any proof or results. Level 4, attorneys, lawsuits, and courts. Once you've gotten to this level, guess what? There's no turning back. And your hope starts diminishing even more. But now your hope starts focusing on, will they get justice? Will I end up getting my money back? Yes, it's diminishing and it's problematic. And then you get to level 5, which is the grand level of it all, which is class action lawsuits, 3-letter agencies involvement, and of course, compliance issues, possibly for you, but definitely for the scammer. So how do these levels work? They work like this. The scammers, they count on people dropping out early. It's all a fractions and numbers game. Most people drop out at the first 1, 2, or 3 levels. They just give up. They're frustrated and they're tired of chasing them, right? The shame and embarrassment kick in, and people like you or me, well, you start blaming yourself. What could I have done different? What shouldn't I do? Maybe the opportunity's still there. And many people don't even reach level 3. And that's where you're threatening legal action or sending demand letters. Why? Because this starts a formal legal process. Most people either don't know about it, they don't have the money for a lawyer, or they just want to go away and just let it be. Maybe it'll fix itself someday. Wrong-o, it won't. And all you're doing is furthering the scam. And those who push further get met with more psychological tricks. The game doesn't stop there. Gaslighting, you're overreacting, so the scammer may say. Misinformation or attempts to intimidate you with fake legal jargon. They might even send fake documents or lawyer's letters. Or worse yet, they might even play attorneys like fiddles. How does this work? They know that the attorney is going to do whatever they say and get them out of legal trouble. So they gate certain information to that attorney, or they construct a certain narrative to the attorney that actually paints you as the bad guy, right? What are they doing? They're hiding behind legal agreements. They're going to be doing forceful intimidation against you, or literally switching attorneys to keep the attorneys compartmentalized as well. And worse yet, they might even want to settle for a smaller amount than what's actually owed to you. But guess what? They're going to gag you into silence forever under NDAs, knowing the silence keeps the scam going. At this stage, the scammers have a finely tuned playbook. Keep you off balance, delay every step, wear you down, and shut you up. So unfortunately, only a small fraction of the victims actually make it to court or get any of the agencies involved. Why? The process is draining. Legal battles are expensive, lengthy, and emotionally exhausting. Meanwhile, scammers, they keep moving on. They're picking up, moving locations, changing company names, targeting new victims, and they reuse the same psychological playbook with fresh new faces. And the greatest strength that they have? Charisma and compartmentalization. These people are fantastic at actually getting you to invest your emotions into them. And that's where they literally are playing you on a set of strings. They are the masters at pretending to be legitimate while splitting up their operations so no one person knows the whole scam. And guess what? They gaslight victims into questioning their own judgment without holding key information, and they're always staying one step ahead. So you ask, why does it matter to you? It matters to you because of this. These scams aren't just about money. Of course, that's lost too, but they're about trust, human psychology, and how easily anyone, including you, can be exploited and fall victim to such scam. The stakes are incredibly high. You can lose not only your money, but also your reputation as well. I know, because I've been there once or twice. And your mental health, you gotta be strong because it will wear on you, and ultimately sometimes it breaks down your freedom if you unknowingly become entangled in these scams and schemes as well. So here's the little known truth that most people don't even talk about. The best defense against these scams isn't just due diligence or skepticism. It's understanding the psychology behind them, recognizing the signs, promises that may or may not be too good to be true, delays with excuses that never end, the vicious cycle, the pressures to act fast, and the demands for money or services or products before they are delivered. right? Like engagement fees. And remember, when you feel desperate or rushed, that's exactly when scammers strike the hardest. So what's the advice? The advice for you is don't fall victim to the thought of, if I push back, I might lose this opportunity forever. The opportunity was never there in the first place. You have to ask for proof. You have to look for the red flags and the inconsistencies, even if they're hard to spot. Don't take your word or somebody else's word that what you've seen in the past is actually legit. Question everything and talk to others. Ask the person in question to speak to previous people in what they've done before. Anything that's been successful. What have they achieved? What have they gotten for somebody? Talk to those people, right? They might turn around and say, well, they're under NDA. Well, if that's the case, find something to validate as proof, because if something feels off, guess what? You're walking right into a scam. You need to get a second opinion and you need to do due diligence, because once you understand how the game is played, you are no longer playing by their rules. So check this. Let's start a thread. Comment below on what scams you fell victim to. Let's open this up. Perhaps this might be the biggest thread online, and people will come to this thread to see what scams are out there and how to avoid them. We're talking American greed on the bigger ones, something even smaller on the smaller ones. There's tons of scams in real estate, investments, money, and obviously many different business opportunities and ideas. And so the goal ultimately of making this video is that you will share it with other people who need to see this. Why? Because you have to protect your circle. The knowledge is the ultimate weapon against deception.